here we have two examples where we're going to need to simplify the algebraic expressions using pandas. Let's remember that for P is the grouping symbols. It could be parentheses, brackets, braces, even absolute values, square roots. So we have several. For the E is exponents. Then we have multiplication and division. And we always want to remember that it's left to right, whichever comes first. And then addition and subtraction, left to right, whichever comes first as well. So we're going to start with this example first. So I want you to look at it and tell me, where do we start? Well, we have grouping symbols, right? So we're going to pick the first one here. Inside the grouping symbol, what do we need to do? We have a negative and a positive. Maybe I'll write it over here. Simple rules. Positive, positive. This is adding / subtracting. Okay? So when you add, you're going to add, and your answer is going to be positive. Okay? You have a negative and negative. You're going to add, and your answer is going to be negative. Okay? If you have positive, negative, okay, you're going to subtract, and your answer is going to have the sign of the largest number. Example, the case that we have right here. You have a negative and a positive, negative and a positive. You subtract, and you keep the sign of the largest number. So I'm going to subtract, so I'm going to have 2. Is it going to be a positive 2 or a negative 2? It'll be a positive 2 because the 8 is larger. So you keep the sign of the largest number. So I'm going to rewrite 6, parentheses, positive 2, close parentheses, plus 4. Now I'm going to deal with this second set of parentheses. Again, inside here, I have different signs, a negative and a positive. I'm going to subtract, but I'm going to keep the sign of the largest number. So it'll be 3, positive 3. Okay, now you still have parentheses, but inside those parentheses, do you have an operation? No, it's just 2, it's just 3. You don't have adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. No operations. So the next step, we're going to multiply. I cannot add, I have to multiply, because addition is it's after division. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this 2 here. Now, please remember that parentheses are also signs of multiplication. So 6 times 2 gives you 12. You bring down your positive, and then 4 times 3 gives you 12. You bring down your 12, and now you add, right? No division, so we go to addition. 12 plus 12 gives you 24. And that's the answer for this example here. Now let's work on the other one, okay? So again, where do we start? We're going to start inside the grouping symbols. In this case, is our parentheses. Inside the parentheses, I have 2 negatives. And if you look over here, negative, negative, you're going, and these are the adding and subtracting rules. Multiplying and dividing are different. Okay? So negative, negative, I'm going to add, but my sign is going to be negative. I'm going to add, but my sign will be negative. So in this case, I have negative 9. Okay? I'm going to bring everything else down that I didn't use. Okay? Now, inside the parentheses, do you have an operation? No. No adding, no subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. It's just negative 9. Okay, next step. You have to be very careful with this negative right here. Some students forget it. This is a negative, let me put it with this one, a negative 1, an invisible negative 1, okay? Now you're going to have to distribute this negative 1 to this, so I'm multiplying it. Negative 1 times negative 9, okay? And I can write down, you have negative or dividing, times the negative gives you a positive answer. Positive, multiply or divide, times a positive gives you a positive answer. Negative times or divide times a positive gives you a negative answer. Positive times or divide times a negative gives you a negative answer. So, negative times negative gives you a positive answer. Positive times positive gives you a positive answer. A negative times a positive, your answer will be negative. A positive times a negative, your answer will be negative. Same rules, multiplication or division. Okay, these are your signage rules. Very important. So negative times negative, positive. Bring this negative 9. Okay, now adding and subtracting left to right, whichever comes first. So I'm not going to subtract, I'm going to add first. This 2 gives me 12. Bring down the minus 9. 12 minus 9, okay, I'm going to get positive 3. If you think about it, in front of the 12, there's a positive. If you look at your rules right here, positive, negative, you're going to subtract, and your answer will have the sign of the largest number. In this case, 12 is larger. Therefore, your answer is positive 3. So this is the answer for first example. This is the answer for the second example.